Hello everyone, I am excited to show you right now how to use this Google Sheet to figure out how much money you make hourly. I have tried to make this as simple yet informative as possible, so please bear with me. Obviously there's so much more we could go into in this, but the whole point for the conversation on Wednesday about money is just knowing where we're at. And I want you to know what you make hourly. So we have two sections here. The first section is for commission stylists. This should be fairly simple to figure out. You're going to just take your paychecks, look how much you were paid. I recommend doing this after taxes, okay? Because no matter what, we all have to pay taxes. So how much actually goes in your bank account? So you would type that amount there and then know how many hours you work total. I want you to include the time it takes to set up for clients and the time it takes to clean up. So basically from the moment you walk in the door to the moment you walk out the door. And so you'll just put how much time you spent there. And it will start to add everything up for you. The more you put in here, the more information as you go along, the more you're going to figure out what you're making. And then it will eventually come right here in this red average pay per hour. It will show you how much money you are making per hour. Okay, for those who are independent or booth rentals. And independent means basically booth rental, suite rental, you're paying for everything yourself. You are in charge of all the money, paying taxes. So this is definitely a bit more complicated depending on how you do it. If you already charge an hourly rate, then you already know how much you're making per hour. However, if you don't, most of us have an a la carte service. So what I want you to do is go through, you can type in down here what services you have and enter that information in. And then you're going to put in the number of hours it takes to perform that service. I highly recommend you round up to the nearest hour. So if something takes you an hour and 15 minutes to do, round it up to 2 hours. If it takes you 2.5 hours, round it up to 3. Just round it up to make it one even number. Don't round down. And part of this is you should be including in this time the amount of time it takes you to set up and clean up after each client. So a haircut may take you 1 hour, but how long does it take you to get ready for that client and how long does it take you afterwards? So you want to make sure you include that time, and rounding up just makes it a lot easier. If you just trust me on that, just keep it simple. Okay, so you would put in, let's say this takes me 1 hour and I charge a total. In the next column, you charge a total of $50 per haircut. And I broke this up between long length, medium length, short length to kind of figure out, because it does take a little difference. And hopefully you charge a little different. If not, just ignore that and just fill out what you do. You don't barber, you don't do any of these things. And like I said, you can come down here and add things on. Like if your new install of hair extensions is different than your maintenance install, put that in there, where you're just going to go through and write how long it takes you to do something, how much it costs, and it will start adding all of this up for you. Okay, and once you get all that information in there, let's see, this is moving so slow. Okay, it is going to come up here, and it's going to have an average pay per hour. Now, there's a couple things that I want you to be aware of. I have this automatically set to 40% paid to the stylist, which means after all your expenses, hopefully you're making 40% on each service. Now, if you know your expenses, I highly recommend you come down here and enter that information. I recommend not going anywhere below 25% for your taxes. Make sure you're pulling money out of each paycheck for your taxes. Operating expenses, that means everything it takes to run your business, from rent, utilities, if you have employees, how much do you pay them? Like everything that goes in there. Stylist pay is what percentage are you paying yourself? And profit savings is something I recommend to just put money aside for like a rainy day, for a class you want to take, for paying yourself a bonus. All these things with a little triangle, you can scroll over and it will explain more information to you. So if you go in and put this information in, it will start to add everything up for you. And this total right here should get to 100%. So then we know here we got 39%. And once you switch the stylist pay on here, it will switch it up here and will change your average per hour. Now, if you don't do that, please just click delete. Don't put 0 because we'll put 0 and hopefully you're paying yourself some money. But if you have nothing there, it's just going to go to 40% to average things out. And then it's going to show you how much money you are making per hour. Regardless of the service, it's just taking the average of everything, the time you put into your job, and how much you're charging per service to figure out how much money you are actually making. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please send me a message and I will be more than happy to help you. I look forward to talking to you all Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Central Time.